It is currently March 6th and I have had a rough week. And it shows, sis, and it shows. Okay, you don't have to tell me. On that note, because I'm having a rough week and I look a little rough, we're gonna turn the camera around. You see my face? Hi, hello. Let's get into it. So I did say I was going to shut off the camera, but we're all friends here, so this is an instructional video. I don't really care. I'm just gonna make it really small so that you don't focus on me, you focus on what I am teaching. So today I'm gonna walk you through the 3 new super fabulous features that Trello has introduced. And this has a lot to do with productivity, using the application better. If you're an avid Trello user like I am, this is gonna excite you. I hope so, because it's exciting me. So I'm going to show you what those 3 new features are. So people are always talking about Asana, how they feel like it's superior to Trello. But to be honest, Trello was the first project management, Pinterest looking board productivity management system out there. So before Asana, before ClickUp, before Notion, before all of these other project management tools, there was the originator, which was Trello, which allowed you to organize your projects and organize anything that you wanted in a board form. Since then, of course, a lot of other, like I said, Asana, ClickUp, and all the others have come into the market, and they've done different views options instead of just a board view like this. They've done tables, they've done calendar views, they've done all these different things. And Trello has been kind of slow to add these features, right? One such feature that they've implemented prior was the calendar. So it's the calendar power up. So this is what you're looking at now, is the calendar power up. And what that allows you to do is just view your calendar in, just view your to-dos, your things that are coming up in a calendar view. So on this calendar, this is everything that I have within this board. So this is my content planning board. So these are all the things that are past due, that are due later on, as you can see. But now what Trello has done is that it's integrated the calendar across all your boards. So now you're able to see everything that's due. If you have multiple boards like I do, which we're not going to get into how many I have, but it'll actually, whatever date you set on any of those calendars, you'll actually be able to see in one fantastic view. And what's even better is you can save the view. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hover over here on the left hand side menu bar, and we're gonna click this calendar. So we already clicked inside the calendar view inside the board. Now we're gonna click this outer one here that says calendar. So as you can see, this is gonna allow me to see everything that's due for this week on any board. So as you can see, this allows me to view everything that's due this week on any board, across all boards. Okay, so I have, this is for my budget board. Some of these are for the budget board, some of these are the content planning boards, etc. So if you have different boards with different dates, you can see this. You can also change the view from the week to the month. And so here's my month across all boards. Here's my month. And this allows me, again, not only did I integrate this with my Google Calendar, so these things do show up on my Google Calendar, which and then turns into coming up on my Apple Watch and my iPad and all of that, but now I can come in here in Trello and actually view all of my boards and everything that I have due just in one spot. And it kind of is just seamless. It just flows, it just works. And I'm just thankful that Trello has implemented this, because that's one thing that I felt like was missing, that I didn't want to give up Trello for to go somewhere else. So I'm just really glad they implemented that. You can also see this now as a table, and a table just, again, is just a list form of everything that you have coming up in kind of the same capacity. I don't care for this list board. It does nothing for me. I'm a very visual person, so if it's not visually appealing and it just looks like an Excel sheet, I'm not gonna go for it. But people view and like to see things in different options, and they learn in different ways. The reason why I always gravitated towards Trello is because it's very visual, like Pinterest, right? So you have all these little boards and all these pictures and stuff, and so that's the way my brain learns and works and creates habits, and it's very productive in that manner. yours may be the table setting. So that's one of the features, so I'm so happy about that one. Now we're gonna get into Trello's second feature. Okay, so the second feature is simple. It's still in the calendar view. It's still working on this calendar access, but now you're able to define what boards are going to show up on your calendar. I have 16 boards, probably more, I don't even know at this point. And so whatever dates I have applied to any of those boards is going to show up in my view. What about if I only want two? I don't only want to focus on my content planning and my business strategy and everything else, like my bills. I don't need to see my bills here because I know when they come up. So I'm going to go hover over to the filter. It does say 16 boards selected. So we're going to take all of them out. And we're going to do just, actually we're going to do the life dashboard, and we're going to do the content planning. We're going to do 3, okay? The life dashboard, the content planning, and the accountability board. So now what you're going to be able to do is also, if you only wanted a specific label, right, you can choose anything that has no labels or labels. You can select specific list only. So if you don't want every single thing to come up, if I only wanted a specific list from the accountability board that has dates to show up here, I can go ahead and pick a date. If I only, the same thing with my other boards, it's just going to tell me which ones I want. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to keep all of my lists checked off so they can all show up, because I don't think I have dates on every single one of these things. You can do the same thing with layers. You can also do the members. So if you only want to see the dates with cards that are assigned to you, so let's say you're working on a big project with a few team members, you can create this view to only show cards that are assigned to you, so it can really pinpoint and keep your focus on the things that you have to do instead of like what everybody else has to do. So you can do cards just assigned to you or where you are in that card, so you can do that as well. Again, for the sake of this video, I don't have a large team, so I don't tend to use my Trello boards with a team just yet. So I have my 3 boards selected and I have all of my options. Now I can save this as a new view. So instead of having to come into the calendar view and sorting through this filter over and over again, I'm going to just go ahead and save it as a view. So now it's going to create, and I can change the name over here, it's going to create that view. So I'll still have my regular calendar view. It's still going to show across whatever I wanted to show across all of my boards. Every single one of my boards is in here. But if I only wanted to focus on like that selected view that I just created, I just hit the new created view and I am only seeing anything due for that specific view that I just created. So that's like amazing as well. And of course you can always go in here and change the name of this. Let's just say that this is top 3 boards. You can name it whatever, and then now I'll have my different views as I go along, and I can make a limited amount of different views that I want to focus on. So that leads me into the last feature of this video, and the last feature that Trello has introduced us with, and let's get into that. So the last feature is my absolute favorite. I didn't know I needed it until it was here, basically. And I know that I am a very tracking type of person. So if you've ever done like us tracking habits that you fill out, like you color in the little label, or you know, anything that shows you the progress of something, like even the battery life, you know, you see the little green dot and you see it going down, or the opposite, you see it charging, whatever. So I'm kind of always like that visual aspect of goal setting, habit tracking, all of that. And so Trello has done that. So this is my favorite new feature that Trello has put out so far, I think ever, maybe, I don't know, but it's called dash cards. And I'm going to read really quickly what Trello has to say about dash cards. So basically, dash cards are available to all users. It is an innovative visual way to track work across your workspace boards and monitor changes in real time. You can create filters for custom sets of data, like cards assigned to me on all workspace boards, kind of like what we did with the calendar view. You can do cards due this week. You can do cards with red labels and track all of those cards that match that criteria right on your Trello board. So what it does is, at a glance, it displays the number of cards that match the filter as a card cover. Yeah, you heard that right. And can be clicked into to explore individual cards and metrics that make up the set. Plus, since so much of our work is done in collaboration with teammates and beyond, dash cards act just like any other card on your board, opening up entirely new ways to discuss and report on goals and projects at a higher level than ever before. This means that it can be prioritized and moved across lists, have due dates, members, comments, and more. So I'm going to show you what that looks like and how you can add it to your board. So I am going to, again, pick a board. Let's pick the content planning board. So you're going to go into your power-ups, and you're going to add a power-up down here. They've changed where it's at. So once you open up, you're going to locate dash cards. And it tells you here, it's gonna say turn any board into a dashboard and track work across Trello with a new type of card. So when you have added your dash card power-up, it's going to show up here and it's going to come up under track. I don't know why not dash card, but whatever, it's under track. So here are the few or the quick ones that Trello kind of does for you, kind of template you can always customize. So let's say I'm going to do, let's do this one, okay? So do this week on this board. So we're going to track that. Once we click on it, we're going to see, I suggest you could maybe creating a whole list of all the things that you can visually see. So there's 4 things due on this board, right? Thank goodness for multiple batteries. So let's continue. My battery died. So on this board, it's telling me that I have 4 things due that are coming up this week. So again, I can always go into my calendar view, as I showed you previously, but I can also go in here. Now this is going to tell me to, these are the 4 cards that are due this week. So it says 4 things are due this week on this board. So here are my 4 things that I do. Although March 3rd and March 4th was last week, but whatever. But you can always change what you want these to show up. So you can do explore and edit. And then you can change the filters. So you can do this week. You can edit the filter to sign created, anything that has a label, or last modified, you know, as I've made previous videos on how to do filters and automate your boards basically. So that's pretty much the same thing. You would just filter out whatever you need to view. So here are your metrics. It's going to give you the sum. You can do the maximum. I don't know what the maximum is, but we'll do the sum because that means the sum across the entire board of how many things are due this week. So let's try another tracker. So let's try to track anything that's past due. Now let's track anything that's stale on this board and see what that actually means. So on this board right now, I have 320 stale cards. What the heck is stale? So I think stale cards refers to anything that was already done, that you've already checked off, and maybe you haven't archived it. It's still in your board somewhere. I don't know why you would call it stale, because stale to me means like you haven't done it. But I digress. We'll touch on that and see what Trello has to say about stale cards. So let's try another one. So we're gonna try to do optimize. And I also say I have overdue cards in this. I have 79 overdue cards. That sounds weird, but okay. So I can do on this board, let's do
1 hour later.
In this list, assigned to me. Okay, maybe not assigned to me. Assigned to no one. And it's due this month. Okay, it's due this week. And then I can do a label. Includes any of the following labels. Let's do taking you out. And then I can track that. So anytime I post something that is due this week for taking you out, let's do, okay, so I'm gonna do 3 new Trello cards, 3 new Trello updates. We're gonna do the labels, taking you out, YouTube channel, like I always do. And then, what was the conditions? I'm new at this, so we're learning together. So, what did I say it was? So it's the same as a dash card, the list, assigned to no one, due this week. Okay, so I need a due date. It's gonna be this video. So let's go ahead and change this. Let's give it a due date. Let's do the 8th at 11:30 a.m. I don't need a reminder. So now we have March 8th at 11:30, and then as you notice, it went from in progress to scheduled because I have that to automatically do that. So this should change to 1, but it didn't. And this is this week. What the heck does Trello consider this week? I'm going to refresh and see if the card turns into 1, because there's one thing that is scheduled. Actually, there's a few things that are scheduled. No, it's one thing that is scheduled with that filter, but nothing came up. So I'm really interested in knowing what is happening. So let's go back on this. Let's filter this out. Again, learning curve. We're all learning together, so let's do this together. So let's go into the edit again. I don't think I did anything wrong, but I could have. So let's do my content planning. Okay, list is, it's always on Tuesday, but it's supposed to read from anywhere. Assigned to no one, due this month, includes checking you out, due this month. Oh, you see, I don't know why I did that. Okay, so you have to make sure that you pick your board, even though it says this, whatever. Pick your board. So we're in the content planning. I picked, it is on Tuesdays that I record, and I move over all of my ideas to the Tuesday list. So Tuesday, due this month, and includes checking you out. So now I'll see that I have 1 video. Let me see if I change this. Let's change this. Change this to tech video this month, right? And so what happens if once we transition into April, it'll show me how many videos I have due that month as well. So again, you can customize this any way that you want. Of course, you can always change the cover of your card, just like any other card in Trello. Again, for the sake of this video, this is just me testing it out with you, real time, okay? And I think it's amazing. Again, this still cards is like, okay, whatever. So we're gonna just archive that and delete it. I do love this due this week on this board. I like the tech videos that I have coming up that I don't know, and then I can always add as many dashboards as I want. What I suggest you do is create yourself a new list at the beginning of the thing. So let's just do a look inside. I kind of like that name only because it's telling me what I need to look for in here inside this Trello board. So I'm going to add this, add this to that, and then I'll have all of my dash cards kind of here going along of what's due, what's coming up next, what's overdue. So what I'm going to do actually now is I'm going to add a, let's do an overdue. Let's track overdue items. And so it looks like I have 79. So I'll go ahead and see why it's telling me that I have 79 items and kind of resolve those. So that's a really cool way to do this. But this is perfect if you have a team, if you're working with a team. If you have a virtual assistant, which hint, hint, there's a virtual assistant template that will be coming up shortly, hopefully the end of this month. But if you have a team and you're working with your VA or whatever, and you can kind of see again what's overdue, and they can change, you can change the filter to overdue just things for them, right? You can do overdue things for you. So there's so many ways that you can customize this. So I'm really enjoying this. I can't wait to continue to play with this as I find out more things and things change and I found better ways to do stuff. I'm actually going to drop some shorts. So watch out for my YouTube shorts, because I'm going to try to kick it up a notch, especially updating new things. So if I find something that's cool, that's going to be good for you to better manage your systems. I'm going to start recording them as little reels, kind of like little informational reels, so stay tuned to that. So this is the end of this video. I look fabulous. I never even did my hair for this video, but I wanted to kind of just drop this in here because the Trello features are amazing. So if you enjoyed this video, again, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. You know it helps the analytics. It helps my videos to get pushed out amongst a sea of many. And subscribe if you enjoy this and want to see more tips to elevate your systems, your life, your business, productivity hacks, digital planning, all that good stuff. And I will see you again next Tuesday, maybe, hopefully. Bye.